You know,
The Move Entrepreneur Evolved Podcast. Get on it.
Whenever you guys are ready, just rolling.
All right, so hope everybody's doing good. I got Xande here, a friend of mine and world champion in Jiu-Jitsu. It's really good to see you, man.
Thank you, see you again.
So we had met at a business deal, and we ended up chatting, and we sat and chatted for a little while, and so I just thought, what a good spirit, and I got to hang out with my good friend Stuart Cooper, and so I thought I'd take an advantage to chat with you a little bit.
Sure.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you got started in Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe what was it that attracted you to Jiu-Jitsu?
Well, like every kid in Brazil, we did judo in high school or elementary school per se, or kindergarten. So I got my first gi at that age, and I was involved with grappling in a sense. You know, like we always had little scrubs in Brazil. In my condo, I had this little thing where we are arguing with one another. So let's go to the grass, and then go to the grass and we grapple. My formal way to start Jiu-Jitsu, I was playing this kid, and from inside my guard, he just like real naked choked my spine and stretched me, and I hurted it and I tapped it. I was like, I don't like that. And I was at home upset. I was like, what happened? So, I was doing this. So, well, you gotta get stronger. And my brother said, how am I gonna get stronger? Oh, you should try Jiu-Jitsu. I'm like, all right. And I go to my mom and say, hey, mom, and you know, Saul said, you're cool and stuff like that, but she was saying, oh, Saul always going to these things, you know what I mean? Like, he's always in the middle of everybody, everything, you know what I mean? You think you're gonna like that? I'm like, well, yeah, let's get a gi, no. And then I want to buy this gi, I said, no, let's get the cheaper one, because maybe they won't like it. Shoot, no. So, first class I go, I learned a mountscape, and I felt claustrophobic. You know, having that person on top of me, it felt useless. I'm like, man, I gotta do something about it, you know. So I got to learn Jiu-Jitsu, and you know, Jiu-Jitsu become part of my life and have helped build my character, you know, because I was lucky to be in the gym that my instructors, they're really respectful people, they're really good leaders, and also I had a good family also. And the better I got at Jiu-Jitsu, more humble I got, because I knew I never hurt anybody in my life. I never had a fight in my life for that reason, maybe the way I carry myself. So yeah, just Jiu-Jitsu just became part of me.
Yeah, I think that martial arts in a whole has a core to it, and there's something that like once you do it, you always feel home. You know,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
like doesn't matter what school you go to, whatever. It's just like a home. Now, you weren't always here in the U.S., right?
No, yeah.
So where are you from?
I'm from the Amazon, Manaus. My dad is originally from Minas Gerais, a place down south. My mom is originally from Rondônia, a place west of Brazil. And they met in Manaus because my dad was a bank manager, and that's pretty much how everything started. So I was born there, and I moved to America in 2002. So you know, like every kid, you know, you want to go to Disneyland and things like this. And my mom, no, you're not going. I got upset about that. But the funny thing is, I had an American friend that came in because I went to English school. And he gave me a flag. And the funny thing, I had a post on my house, and I had an American flag in my house. I didn't have a Brazilian flag. I had an American flag, and had a antenna pole, and I used it to put American flag. And my mom, why are you doing that? I'm like, oh, it's a gift. But American flag? I'm like, yeah, whatever. So the first time I went to America was in '98 to Hawaii. So I had my brother beat Fabio Gurgel in a super fight. And they're giving away tickets to the Pan Ams at the time in Hawaii. And I was 17 years old, so it was my first experience coming to America. I knew English because I went to English school. My mom made sure I went. Sure. My mom really educated us the best way possible. I went to military high school, which is the higher rate of college degree, like college students. You know, they go to the best schools. I did English in one of the best schools in Manaus, so he really took care of us. So that part was taken care of. So he won that fight, and then, but his sponsor gave him a ticket, so he gave me his ticket. That was my first time in America. Super cool, went to Hawaii right away, fought Pan Ams, I won Pan Ams the first time, and that was the first time people saw his brother and things like this. And then, '99 I came back to another Pan Ams, I won again as a purple belt. That was in Miami, and I got to Disney for the first time, and I shaved my head for the
Now
first time.
I'm really in America.
Yeah, I'm really in America. I'm in Disneyland, you know. Hawaii is not really America.
Yeah.
And then 2000, I didn't do Pan Ams, and then 2001, I did Pan Ams again. But then 2000 was my first experience in going to America to teach seminars. You know, I walked in Philadelphia, Steve Maxwell, a bunch of kettlebell, first time I trained kettlebells in my life. And at the time it was crazy because we would do seminars and we would just line up everybody and train with everybody. So me as a brown belt, and I trained my brother for like a year and a half only. And he's like, all right, so we're just gonna tap everybody. I'm like, do you expect me to tap everyone? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, if you trust me. So I would say I did about 50 seminars in my whole life. That was the thing. I finished, line up everybody, no matter who you are, I'll just get out of the mat once I tap everybody. And that's how I think one of the ways that I increase my skills. So going to America, now we become friends with some people, you know, and now they're like, oh, the Ribeiro brothers, blah, blah, blah. We started to be more known. They had those internet forums and everything. We have a really good friend in Ohio, Chris Blanky. He had a little gym, and you know, and he's like, well, I don't know, I want to open a bar. I don't know if I want to teach Jiu-Jitsu, and nowadays he does have a big school in Ohio. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm going. And everybody was surprised because, like, out of everybody that would go, I was the one that was ready to go. So in 2002, I just came to America as an experiment. I quit school, I was in law school. So I got rid of that, and I stayed there too. So I was 2002, and then 2003 I had a little injury, so I was in Brazil for 2 years, for a couple months. And then I went to Brazil again to recover because I didn't have a health insurance. That's when I won my first world championships in 2004. So after I win the world, there's nothing else for me there. And I came back, did more seminars. I'm like, you know what? And my brother said, hey, I found this good lawyer. I think we can do something about it. I'm like, okay. So in 2005, I started my process. After Worlds 2005, I started my process to get my green card and everything else. So right before Worlds 2006, I got my green card, and I was already, pretty much in America. So I guess I moved in 2002, I lived 2002, 2003, 2004 I came back to Brazil. By September 2004 I moved back to America, and that's I stayed until now. And then 2007 I started dating a girl here in California, and then I came to San Diego for the first time.
Yeah.
But there was no Jiu-Jitsu here, just Fabio Santos, Carlos Valente, and the guys that were like younger. So I am the number one guy that came to America for my generation. Like, because it was either some old Gracies, older guys.
Yeah.
There was no like my style.
Yeah.
So I was the first one. Now there's too many.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Even the whole San Diego, everyone in San Diego training me.
It's like an episode, yeah.
Galvão did the training camps here with us. Teddy did the training camp with us.
Yeah.
The Grayson Maita were with us. The Alliance boys were here. So I'm just happy that I was able to help everybody.
And that's crazy you say that, because I remember I was trying to actually do the math in the years. And so I was involved in karate as a kid, and that was the American thing, that's what we did. And so that was always what the function was. It was as a kid, every single day, I was in the gym. That's why this stuff is still home to me.
Yeah.
But I remember I was in 10th grade, and I went to a friend's house, and somebody came over, and he was a blue belt, and he was doing stuff and shit to us that we didn't even know what was going on, So I want to think that was 93.
Okay.
So that's probably, because it seems like we're pretty close to the same age. That's 93. I was a sophomore in high school. So you were already competing in sophomore?
Yeah, no. 93, I was 12, So actually 93 was my first national championship. I won as a...
So that's 93?
I won an orange belt. So when Royce won the UFC, for me, like, okay, he won. Like, that was no surprise. I knew he was going to win.
Yeah.
The whole world, oh my God. Because I grew up thinking Jiu-Jitsu was never going to lose to anybody. Because that's what it was, because the technique was just so good.
Yeah, sure.
So when Royce won the first UFC, like, you look at George St. Pierre, all the Americans that win, oh my God, I saw that. And I thought it was amazing. For us, it was just another day. And they didn't even pick the best Gracie to be there at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Royce was by far the best Gracie at the time. They have Hickson, they have all these guys. He was picked because they want to make impression. And they did. And they was very good about it. And I was 12 years old.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you look at all these stories, and one of the things that I'm fascinated in is transitions. And so when you go travel to another country, there's these feelings that you get, and then you get transitions in different areas. You have was it a military background?
No,
Or you went to military school?
Military high school.
Got it.
As a high school, I was the best school in Brazil, and I had good grades from my old school, and then I got accepted. So I had to go every day, put my hat on, I had to iron my clothes, shoot my shine, discipline, boom, sing songs, marching, go to the jungle, eating stuff in the jungle, sleep in the jungle, get sick, it's just so fun. Yeah.
And then you went, you have jiu-jitsu, and everything has a sense of dedication. So it doesn't matter like what you're gonna do. If you're gonna be great at jiu-jitsu, you better hyper-focus in that area. And so you were gonna be an attorney, was that right? Or you were gonna go to law school at the time?
I was gonna do it at the time, yeah.
And both of those are like, either you're gonna be an attorney or not, and it's like, I gotta focus on one, right?
Yeah, and I moved to Rio for that. My brother, the Gracie Maita team, they had this guy that he was part of the owners of this big college, and they say, well, when I bring my brother, would you give him like a little like sponsorship, like scholarship? Yeah, I'll give it to him. So I went there. All of a sudden, my brother just literally was like this. 17 years old, I had no dream, no thought whatsoever to move to Rio. That was not even crossing my mind. So my brother's in my town, and he's super smart about this thing, so he plans before he does anything. So I'm on my room, whatever. I think I was playing video games and watching like Michael Jordan play, whatever. And then my mom calls, Xande, vem cá, come here. I'm like, yeah, what's up? So your brother's saying, you want to go to Rio to live and do college there? I'm like, yeah, why not? And she's like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah. That's how I decided. A week later, I'm registered because in Brazil you have to do a test. It's not like GPAs, you have to actually do a test. So I went, did the test. Wasn't the hardest the college to get in. So I got in, but it was a little too far for me. I had to take a van with 2 buses, or train and bus to get there. I had to be up at 5 a.m. Plus I wanted to train a little bit. And that's when I moved to a closer college.
Got it.
Kept doing it. I liked it. I just felt that being a lawyer wasn't the best thing because it's just the way the Brazilian law works. For me, nothing made sense. I'm like, dude, it's A and B, and that's it. Now you go A and B, and there's D, E, F, G, H that goes against A and B. I'm like, that makes no sense for me.
Yeah.
Right? And I already saw a couple of my friends doing internships and getting fat, stressed out, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I did my first travel to America. I was like, man, like, I can make money. I can help people. I just have to be honest. You know what I mean? There's nothing I need to do. Just be honest, teach jiu-jitsu, make people feel good. But now if I become a lawyer, now I have to wear all the suits. I have to go to this. And then if a rapist comes to me and ask him to defend him, I'm going to actually punch him in the face. But now if I go to be a prosecutor, I'm actually putting people in jail and then they can try to kill. And I started just trip on those things. That's when I have this thing that like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. So I went to Ohio, and I went to Ohio wasn't like Los Angeles, Miami, big city. It was Toledo, Ohio, a small town. There's really nothing there, just jiu-jitsu. Now there's more jiu-jitsu there because we brought there. So and the people are like, and that's funny. I have a friend that plays with me because he's from Hawaii, really good friend. It was my first best American friends. Yeah. He's like, did you confuse Ohio with Hawaii? You didn't mean to say Hawaii? And then I moved. It was a great experience. I was the only Brazilian, so I got to work my English. And there's no way I would speak Portuguese, so I got to really exercise my English. Yeah. But I did suffer a little bit with like having friends. I was 21 at the time, and most of my students were like 30s. So no guys my age. I've had people that walked into me, so you're the instructor? Like, they're looking at me like, you're too young to be an instructor. Yeah. So I got a little bit of that. But again, I just always felt, man, if you're just not for you, it's not for you. If you have an issue with me, not a problem. And I didn't run as a business. It was just like, hey, you want to come in? This is how much you train. There was no procedures or nothing. And then that's how we started.
Yeah, that's super cool.
What's up, mate?
What's up, mate?
So one of the things that I had caught in an interview that I thought was super cool, and it's certain things that, I think there's talent. I mean, there's obviously talent, and I think that, certain people say you got to work hard even when you have talent. I mean, that's what creates a world champion. But I think there's also times in your life where you're like, I know that I'm talented enough, I've got this thing that I have, and then something happens. And it was when you had brought up that you had never had your guard passed until, I think it was your brown belt, is that right?
Yeah, brown belt.
Yeah, and so when that happened, because that's a long period. I mean, you go from your white belt and you're going, you never have that one thing happen. And then I think it was it Hajar is the only one that then passed it in competition. So I just want to clear that up.
Okay. The first time I
thought it was a good point.
All right, just to make it clear to everybody, I have never got arm locked in my life. So I never got arm locked. I never got choked from the back. I did got no-gi, that was about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think in black belt, I think Hajar triangled me once. That was about it too. So pretty much the first time my guard got passed was a brown belt. And the guy that did pass my guard, he was the number one guy. He was like the Roger Grace at the time. His name is Miragaya. And the pass that he does, a lot of people call the Miragaya pass. Was just silly, he tricked me to this. I jumped triangle, I land on his thing. He went to the side. I was pushing. The referee scored the point. He let it go. He like dominated. So that's me making excuses. So he passed it. He controlled me enough time to get the points. But as soon as the referee gave the points, I was able to recover, and I think I swept him even after that. But was just no pass. So for me, fighting a guy like him that was like world champion, he was literally like this. He would pull people guard, sweep, pass, mount, finish. He wasn't like the best Gracie Barra guys. Like I say, if you call any guys from the older times, hey, you know me that guy, I'd be like, oh wow, that's the guy. So he was the first guy. And then 2005, Hajar passed it, and nobody has passed it since. It's just something that I like numbers, so I never got strangled in Jiu-Jitsu, in gi. I got triangled once. I got clock choked twice. That's about it. Never got arm locked. Never got mounted with the gi on. They took my back. So never got mounted, never got arm locked, never got choked from the back, never got choked from the front. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because it's like...
Never got leg locked.
Oh, never got leg locked. So I don't hear a lot of people approach it that way. Usually you hear that in boxing. A lot of boxing guys, I'm 30-0, I'm just, it's that thing. And it was such a cool thing to hear that because it was like, there's pride in every one of those that you would accomplish.
Yeah, for sure,
you know what I mean? So the transition that I think I'll go from here is like, when you were doing jiu-jitsu, became a world champion, all of that kind of happened. And then all of a sudden, I think that it might have been because of your father, or maybe it was because at first you were going to go towards academics, that how can I use my brain? There came a time when you went, you know what, business is something that I want to be involved in.
Sure, yeah.
What was that transition? How did that happen? Because you could have just been an athlete and moved on and done your thing, and now you decided to create an academy.
Yeah, what happened? I think I see myself as someone that paved for a lot of people, because everything that had to be wrong, I did. So when I won my first worlds, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna all the sponsors, no sponsors.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm gonna all the seminars. Yeah, seminars, they're there, but anyone can do seminars if you have a good network. And then I won the World Cup 2005, and then I lost to Hajar in 2005, but I was still good there. And then I got a little better sponsor. And the sponsor paid me, and I spent everything one day. That's how much money we made, right? And then the breakthroughs were 2006, which I won the weight in absolute. So I was like number one. I was like
You're there.
I'm like, okay, there's nothing above me, only below. And still nothing happened. And then sometimes I would see guys that had 0 titles, doing something cool.
Yeah.
That's when one time, one of the guys that people didn't like him so much, but I think he made a lot of people see the official jiu-jitsu as a business. So because it's martial arts, there's a balance. And I think some people are losing that. They're going too much towards to make the money, but they're forgetting about being themselves. So anyway, one time we had a little discussion. Something was happening, and he goes like, bro, I'm not a champion. I'm not nothing. I'm a marketer. And I'm listening to him. He's like, if I tell my student, go do a triangle, and he does a triangle, I'll make sure the whole world knows that.
Yeah.
And I'll find a way to everybody knows that I made the guy the champion, and maybe I'll get more students.
Yeah, that's the point.
I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I started to study a lot of things. Of course, a lot of trial and error. Still, there's so much error in it because you can never really like. And like I said, it all depends your ethics. It all depends how much you want to hustle someone. You know, I know a academy that costs $600 and people can take that money away from people. But it's not really my style. Like, I think as hard as you try to sell something, now it's as hard it is to keep. Because now they think they want something. For me, I want someone to walk in my academy and be happy just being here. Not be happy because I'm feeding him with a bunch of stuff. Oh, if you get this, you get that. If you get this, you get that. No, man, you gotta train. That's the part of I try to balance.
Yeah.
The ethics of. So for me, a lot of internet, we have to learn a lot about SEO, what people are looking for, how to receive a customer. Not see as a customer. Hey, someone comes here, hey, what's your name? Look him in the eye. What are you interested in? And of course, there are techniques that we learn throughout the process. How to approach the price, how to make the people, understand. Because not thinking, because it's real. Jiu-Jitsu is real. I'm not selling something that is undervalued. It's something that is actually there's more value in it than just the price of a membership. And make them understand that's good for them. It's an investment of their time and their money to something they're gonna belong and something that's gonna be good for them. But how can I make a procedure that make that work? You know what I mean? How he gonna sign the contract? How without thinking he's like, shit, no, I don't want this. So I think we invest in the environment. You know what I mean? A clean academy. Back in the day, we never thought about it. Sometimes my locker would be like a month without cleaning. Now, if they go one day, well, because the restroom is the locker room, so it has to be cleaned.
Sure.
The gis has to be proper. The uniform. Back in the day, my uniform was all messed up. Now it's all clean. So we have standards. Someone walks, there's a process. Hey, what's your name? Where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you find out about it?
Get treated a certain way every time.
Exactly. The way you answer the phone. You know what I mean? How to get the person here. That's the main thing to people. Sometimes I say, hey, is this Jiu-Jitsu school? Yes. How much Jiu-Jitsu? $100. Okay, ciao.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're not gonna say, hey, what's your name first?
Experience.
So it's because that person's gonna be with you every day.
Yeah.
So I want them right away to know, hey, I'm gonna be here for you. And that's how it goes. There's many practices that I don't do. Like I said, it depends how much you want to work, how much you want to make it, how much you want to hustle, and how much you want to sell yourself. Someone comes in here, I do the class here, for example, I'm not the one that, for example, we learn that the same person that kisses is not the same one that beats the butt, right? So I'll teach a class and I'll give them to my manager. And I'll be like, the cool guy, right? It's not lying, it's just procedures. Hey, I'm not the one to talk about money because I'm not the money person. I'm the one who's going to teach you how to front row. You talk to the person that he's more adequate for that. I also, not just that, but build the right team. That's the most important thing. You know what I mean? You can't put Xande to sell because Xande cannot sell, but Xande can give you amazing class. Xande can give you the best smile. So I'll say I'm the lobbyist. Right? People are like, oh, the guy's cool. Oh, he's a teacher. Oh, he has a picture there. Oh, he's that champion. Sometimes even being a champion is worse because build a subconscious, like they feel they need to step up to their requirements, that standard. Oh, if I'm not a champion, I don't belong here.
Yeah, that's true.
So building a team that works together is super important. You know what I mean? Hey, just don't do this. So I think that transition to business is first, know who you are, right? Okay, I'm this guy, and that's as low as I'm gonna go because that's my standard. Understand that. If I have to go below my standard now, what that person has that can benefit our school, not me, because I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for my school, right? And there's a lot of things that way. We have the procedure to send them emails when they're missed. You know what I mean? We have every month we send a newsletter. Hey, how are you doing? Someone comes in, sometimes the guy feels a little shy. I get one of my guys, hey, can you go and work with him because he's feeling a little shy about it, and things like this. So we have a super big ratio. Not too many people quit. That's the main thing. There's always people quitting for many reasons.
You have a very good retention rate.
Yeah, retention rate. Because we're here all the time. The gym's good. You know what I mean? The price is average. Basically, schools are really more expensive than that. Maybe they offer more school, more time frames. and things like this. I think having the procedure in place, knowing what not to do, and how to funnel people into your academy. And that's where we learn most about business. And I think the rest just ideas and how to, again, it's always come to the way you proceed into something. For example, you want to do a shirt, right? Now you're doing a shirt, you call the company and say, hey, what's your deadline? How many weeks? No. So now you know, once you decide on the design, now you go. Now you're going to a brainstorming meeting. Okay, let's talk about shirt. What's the theme of the shirt? And then I go, okay, now, once you do that fun stuff, now just put it in the pocket. Someone else makes the procedure, and then boom, that's another, there's a shirt. Boom, hey guys, Xande puts the shirt on, do it, boom. And they go on.
Don't you find that in a way martial arts really has an advantage when you go into business because you realize it's a process?
Yeah.
Like you realize how many failures you have, and then you realize, oh shoot, that was a success. I'm gonna do that again and again.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of the same thing. And the same thing I think with like jiu-jitsu or martial arts, that sometimes you only have one good thing.
Oh yeah.
And then that's your killer, and you have to double down on that. And so I think that it's the same thing with marketing as well.
Oh, definitely.
When you find something that works, double down on it. Don't try to become this Amazon of all these different things. And I think that I think you've capitalized very well. I think it's super cool to watch the story that you've created, and not only that, just the value that he brings to his customers and the mental state that it sounds like what you're bringing, because it can be very selfish,
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the transition.
Yeah, well, another thing that I've learned now. So, for example, people are like this. Once they have something, they don't want anything else. So one thing that really changed was, first, I'm not the one that charge them, and second, I'm never the first one that teach them a procedure, like a first classes.
So they don't connect. I mean,
you know what I mean? Because I want them. That's the only thing of the business that I kind of had to adapt. Like, I teach the beginners, but I'm giving little for them a little bit. Because then what happens is, okay, if Xande's not going, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, is not make them fall in love with the instructor, which is part of it, but to fall in love with Jiu-Jitsu. But even if they leave my academy, I want them to still train Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Some people fall in love for you, and that's where my biggest problem. When I was in Ohio, if I leave, everybody leaves. Xande's not there, I'm not going. There are guys that are coming here saying, I've been here for 3 weeks and I haven't met you. Hey, nice to meet you, I'm John. I'm Xande. You're not on the picture? Yeah, I'm on the picture. Oh, cool, I love Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So he loves Jiu-Jitsu, not me as a figure, as a champion, that he just wants me.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only business strategy that I kind of, but I still do intro classes.
Yeah, of course.
Some days I'll just hop in, I'll be like on my Facebook, hey guys, I'm teaching a beginner's class today.
Yeah.
And now there's like way more people coming.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But still they love Jiu-Jitsu as it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing. Example, right? 2 doors down, there's Jiu-Jitsu there.
Yeah.
Why they decide there versus here? You never know.
Yeah.
We're more expensive than them. Some people still come here. Some people walk in here, man, that's what I want. Some people go there, that's what I want. So there's this thing in Jiu-Jitsu, you're stealing my students. And bro, you're not stealing anybody. Who's stealing your students is the beach, it's soccer season.
You're right.
It's
Especially
karate,
San Diego.
It's karate.
Yeah.
Because the thing about like karate, for example, and taekwondo, they're amazing. But in one day you feel something. Oh man, I can break that board. I can throw 2 kicks and 2 punches, even though you're not doing anybody.
Yeah.
But Jiu-Jitsu is very uncomfortable in the beginning.
It's very uncomfortable.
So you have to first, like, what do you want from Jiu-Jitsu? I want to learn self-defense. I'm going to go totally geared to self-defense. I'm not even the one Jiu-Jitsu stuff, like competition Jiu-Jitsu.
Sure.
I'll teach them how to defend a headlock, I'll defend like a wrist grab, how to stand up, and I'll make him do some tiger routine and some exercise from Jiu-Jitsu. Now he's sweating, he's happy, man, I love this. You can defend yourself. When is someone that's more like, I already know Jiu-Jitsu a little bit, but I want to, I have 1 class. I say, okay, and then I'll teach him, okay, what did you learn? And then he'll teach me something. I say, okay, but this you can do like this. And then I'll fix them a little, and then I'll show him more Jiu-Jitsu because he already has contact with Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
If it's a girl, we just don't say, lay down, open your legs, and I'm going to put you in your guard. No, some girls will be like, what the heck is this guy's doing between my legs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it teaches you all of that, to kind of screen them before you even go in. Some schools, they have to see the questionnaire. There's all kinds of of business ways to do it. Some people like a white belt should never train. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I have to be aware that some white belts need the extra day.
Yeah.
Some white belts don't. You know what I mean? Like our white belt class, there's no sparring, but I allow them to come to sparring. Some of them. That's why we give them the green belt.
Mm-hmm.
So now they know when they're the green belt, they're allowed to any sparring session. If they're white belts, now they have to wait until they're called upon. So there's all the little things that it's not really business. It is business, but it's a way to protect them against themselves.
Yeah.
So you don't want them in 1 week getting hurt. So they need to understand that's okay. You need to just learn a little bit more.
Sure.
Just learn a bit for your own health. Oh, I want to try. I said, man, but then, you know, if you get smashed, you might not like your stuff. I like Jiu-Jitsu. So you promise. And then that's like, now he's like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know, because some guys, man, you're gonna put them to train.
Yeah.
You put the wrong guy to train with the guy, and he's a Pluto. He's scratching me. He's never gonna come back.
Yeah.
You know, but now you made the guy commitment. Say, you have a commitment. You're gonna get black belt. Oh yeah, you're gonna be like, black belt. You're gonna like graduate. Because it's not just train jiu-jitsu. This is not a dojo. This is not an academy. This is a school. You're gonna learn. And guess what? You're gonna cry. You're gonna suffer. It's gonna be painful, but it's gonna be amazing. They'll be like, yeah. You know, so then you even learn how to always be like a psychologist.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all these ways. And some people just have the talent. You know, I'm just the talent to see good in people.
Yeah.
Some people have the talent to sell, water for ice for his people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how it goes, But again, it's still people. It's not a product. It's a service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about them to feel good. So I like them to fall in love for jiu-jitsu. And if they don't like me anymore, hey, Xande, I don't think you're for me anymore. Fine, bro. Go train them. Whatever.
And you never know when it comes back through.
Exactly. I've had many people that had to go places. I said, man, I'm never gonna quit jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have guys that are like, he's a brown belt for 5 years. He's still waiting for me to give him his black belt. Just waiting for the perfect moment for that. So
very cool. Well, I extremely appreciate it. This is super cool. I think that in this conversation, I can obviously tell why people come in. You have an energy that's amazing. When I meet people that have great energy, it's just like, hey, how can I get more of that?
Yeah,
and try to give that back as well. And I got to say, like, even through this, because not everybody has done well in creating an academy and going that route. But I can tell you this. I'm going to say this. If you're in business, go do jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
If you do jiu-jitsu, you have the capabilities of doing business.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a puzzle play. And so, Xande, it is a pleasure, my
you,
friend. Starbuck on the move. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
If you like this episode, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just like Nike is to athletes, Moved is to entrepreneurs.